Okay, thank you, man. So, whatever you feel comfortable talking about.
So, I met Chris at work. He's not like one of my direct coworkers. He just like works kind of in passing in the same office building as me. I met him, I don't know, probably around the beginning of June, maybe before that. And we kind of talked in passing and then started to get to know each other, and we started hanging out pretty frequently around, I want to say like the last week of June, somewhere around there. And have continued to talk until then. He informed me that he did have 2 kids. I knew that he had 2 daughters. He also told me that he was currently in the process of a separation from his wife. And so, are the mosquitoes that he was in the process of a separation from his wife, and as far as I knew, that was becoming pretty finalized. And then Monday afternoon, he told me that she was like gone and he didn't know where she was. And at that point, I don't think that it set off any alarms in my head, just because, I mean, I have friends that I text, and if I don't hear from them for like 3 hours or 6 hours or even like a couple days, I don't feel concerned about where they're at, because it's kind of a standard thing for me. But then she didn't come home that night. I was like, okay, well, maybe she'll come back. And I was kind of under the impression, since they're separating, that maybe she decided to take the kids. Maybe she decided to just leave for a few days. I don't know. I was just, I felt like maybe she was just trying to get some space. And I figured maybe that was why she left her stuff there, and just get some quiet. And then yesterday rolled around, and she's still not around. And that started to seem really concerning for me, that people still don't know where she is, and they don't know where those little girls are. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I hope something did not happen to her and did not happen to her children. And that was when I decided that it's probably a good idea to just come talk to you guys and just let you know that I've been spending time with Chris, and that's as far as this got. So that's it.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. So prior to June, did you know him? Did you guys have any? Did you know him? Any relationship? Didn't know him at all?
No, I didn't know him at all.
Met at work in June?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's the company you guys both work for?
We both work for, well, I'm a contractor, so technically I don't work for the same company, but we both work for a company called Arvada Petroleum Corporation. Like, we're in the same building at the same time. So we don't actually, like, work together. It's literally like I see him in the hallway and passing kind of thing. It's not even...
And then what do you do then? What's your position?
I do human health and safety, environment stuff, so HSE.
Okay. And you're still currently employed there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. And then, so you guys met. Did you start communicating via email, text, phone messages? How did sort of the relationship develop?
So we started talking through text message and through phone calls.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Take your time.
That's how it started.
Sure. Okay. And then did your relationship develop beyond friendship?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then did he say anything to you about where he thought the relationship was going to be going, or what he was hoping for the future?
I think that he was looking for a relationship with me. But I knew that he was in the process of a separation. So for me, I was kind of having a hard time with that, where it's like, you know, because he told me, oh, we're putting the house up for sale. And I told him, you know, I'm not comfortable with considering you my significant other and vice versa while you are still, like, in the midst of a divorce. Like, I was like, you know, once you and her are finalized with the divorce, and like once you and your kids have your new location that you wanted to move to set up, once all of that is where it needs to be, I'm like, then you and me can talk about, eventually like dating seriously and like building something with each other. But I mean, that was kind of my standstill on that, and I feel guilty that I should have like waited to, I guess, like initiate anything that we had together until after his divorce was finalized, as opposed to doing it while they were in the midst of separating. It was like talking about. So,
and it's not uncommon, and it's not. We appreciate you being forthright with us and telling us about this, because it is significant. We're trying to go through everything that we can as far as the investigation right now to figure out what happened or what's happening. So we appreciate you telling us about this. I know it's not easy thing to do. So can you tell me a little bit more though? So in June, you guys started talking, and then when did it develop into more than just talking, more than just friendship?
it's like the beginning of July.
Yeah, July. Okay. And then did you guys continue to see each other up until would it be Monday?
I saw him on Saturday. That was the last time I saw him.
Okay. Okay. And then can you walk me through that on Saturday? Like, what did you guys meet? What was the?
So when we spent time together, I didn't really like go to his house. Like we would spend time at my house. He went out to dinner. That's what we did. He said he had a babysitter, and he had to wait for the babysitter. And we met up. I don't even know what time he came over. Probably like 5 or 6. And we tried to go to a restaurant down the street from my house, but I didn't like the menu. So we left, and then we went to another one off of like 144th. It's called the Lazy Dog. And we went up there and we had dinner. And then he came back to my house and hung out with me for probably like 15 minutes. And then he left because he said he had to go to the babysitter. So he stayed.
And that was Saturday night?
That was Saturday. That was the last time I saw him.
Okay. And did you guys, was there anything else that you did? Was it just dinner? Did you go anyplace else and visit any other?
No, we just went to dinner. That's one of the only times I've actually ever been out in public with him. But yeah, just dinner.
And so for the most time in the past, whenever you guys were together, was at your house, or was it like going out somewhere?
Typically not. I mean, we've done a few things, but it's not.
And on Saturday, do you remember what the time frame was?
I think it was probably like 5 to 10-ish, somewhere around there. And I don't even think it was 10, because he had to be back by 10. So I think it was a little bit before that. I think it was like 9:30. But somewhere in there. And I remember it might have been like a little after 5 too. All I know is the babysitter was going to get there around that time, and we had to be back before 10. So give or take drive time, sometime in that 5-hour window.
And when he came to your house, did he sort of pick you up at your house?
I don't really like ride in his car. I've been in that white car they have once, but other than that, we take my truck everywhere, always.
When he came to your house, what vehicle was he driving?
I didn't even pay attention to that, but probably his. I don't think he really takes that APC truck anywhere. He doesn't have to.
Because usually, when he comes see you, usually the white vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, when you guys went out, did you take your vehicle to go wherever you were going?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so you had dinner. Was there anything else? Any other discussion about anything?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Did you talk about anything about his relationship with his wife? That come up? Nothing? Nope.
I mean, I've been helping him trying to like find a new spot, so I'm sure we talked about like, hey, because I know we were trying to set up a time this week to go like have him. He was looking for a 2-bedroom apartment. He wanted to get an apartment that was for him and his girls, and so sometimes, I mean, we talk about that recently because he's just like, I gotta find a place, and we were supposed to go look at some stuff this week. We were trying to get it set up before all this happened. So, I mean, like a little bit of stuff, but it's never like directly him and his wife. It's typically like, this is what's going on, and it's just like, well, I will give you a helping hand if you're trying to find a spot. Like, I'll look at apartments for you guys, and like I would tell them, oh, I found an apartment that's like got a pool for your kiddos, and it's got a park for your kiddos, and it's close to work and close to the gym, and you know, and trying to make sure that he got a place that was close to where his ex-wife would be staying, so that they were all, you know, essentially located to each other, and just really trying to help him to get set up so that he could have a good working relationship with her, with the kids, and then he could be in a location that was like safe and centrally located and good for the kids themselves when he had them. And so that, I mean, just trying to like help him to like transition and then be a good dad and make sure that he was there, do what he needed to do.
And then after Saturday, what was the next time you heard?
Oh, I talk to him all the time. He hasn't texted me today because I asked him yesterday not to, but if I was to text him right now, I bet he'd respond in like 5 minutes. And
So,
he has no idea that I talk to you guys. Nobody does. My dad is the only person that's in on this loop. Like, no one I know knows that I spent time with him. I don't think anybody he knows that I spent time with him. Like, besides the 3 people at this table, it's just him. That knows.
Nobody, no coworkers, no friends,
Nobody.
Okay. And you're confident that he didn't say anything to anybody about your relationship?
I'm pretty positive he did not.
Okay.
So.
And then, as far as texts and phone calls since Saturday, has anything been odd to you? Anything that he has said or written that strikes you as being strange or not truthful? Or?
Well, so I talked to him on Sunday night, and he was fine on Sunday night. I didn't have any issues with him. And then Monday, I think we shot each other like a couple texts at work, but him and I get real busy, both of us do at work. So it was just kind of like, and it was like just a mundane bullshit conversation, you know. And then Monday afternoon, I came home from work, and I had a friend over at my house who is not involved or knows anything about this at all. But like, I went to meet up with a friend, and then he texted me and told me something along the lines of like, my wife and my kids aren't home. I was just like, okay. And then
that was on Monday.
It was on Monday.
Do you know what time it was?
Honestly, I'm kind of upset with him right now. Just disappointed with him. So I'll talk to him right now. But probably, realistically, I'll tell you. It happened like right after I walked in the door to meet up with my friend, and let me see. So Monday, I got off of work at 3 p.m. Takes me probably like 40 minutes to get home, and I had just walked in the door. So how about 3:45? That's probably about right.
Okay.
And so he sent that then, and I was like really confused, but I wasn't concerned at that point because it was just like, she's not home. Like, she at the grocery store. I mean, it was like, all right. I didn't realize like the seriousness of the situation at that point in time. But no, she didn't come home that night. And then I talked to him that night too, and he really didn't seem like. I mean, he was like concerned about his kids, definitely, but he didn't seem like he was at that point worried that something horrible had happened. He was just kind of like, I don't know where they're at. It's stressing me out. And I could hear it in his voice. Like, he sounded kind of scared. Like, he was just worried about them, you know? He's like, I don't know where she is. Like, I don't know why she did her stuff. I mean, so he was worried, but it wasn't, worried like I think somebody would sound if somebody they loved was not at home, you know. But at the same time, I think at that point, he was convinced, I was convinced that she probably just left the day. Like, I really thought, I was like, you know what, I bet she just needed a break from him, and she needs some quiet, and she probably took the kids, and she'll be back in like a day. That's kind of like how I had it in my head. So,
did he say anything to you about whether anything was missing from the house, not missing, signs of anything suspicious? If he just said that she left, or he didn't know where she was?
He didn't know where she was. He didn't say she left. He's just like, I don't know where she's at.
And the kids as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, and I think he sounded genuinely concerned. I mean, those are his kids. And from the impression that I get, he's a great dad. I mean, he's all about them. He loves those little girls. And so, you know, for me, I could tell when I could, like, hear it in his voice that he sounded concerned. It was just like, those little girls, I'm sure, you know. And I think he's just worried about the whole situation. Like, I don't know where else we are at. I don't know why she left it.
And then since on Monday, have you spoke to him on the phone, or has it just been text messages or both?
I think I did not talk to him on the phone on Tuesday. It was yesterday.
Wait, I'm sorry, you did or you didn't?
I did not. We texted each other yesterday, but there was no like phone conversation yesterday.
But Monday was on the phone?
Yeah, at night, like at the end of the night, I talked to him. I just remember being like really tired and I wanted to go to bed, but I was just like trying to make sure he was okay, trying to make sure his family was okay, asking him like, if you heard anything.
Long conversation or short?
I think we talked twice. Like I think we talked a little bit. So much. Like I honestly, I can't keep track of all of it. But it was probably pretty extended.
Did anything jump out at you in that conversation that was different or that was odd? Did he say anything to you about anything with you and him? Like anything had changed or that anything was different now or nothing at all? Okay, so just seemed concerned and just
yeah, like he was worried. You know, I mean, I was worried too. I just didn't. I thought she just left for a day. That's really what I thought. And then again, like yesterday when she just like didn't come home, I was like, oh, maybe this is like something really serious. And again, I mean, like with my friends, it wouldn't be something that would draw attention if I didn't talk to them immediately. And I knew that they were going through separation, so the fact that one person is leaving for maybe a day, that doesn't seem out of the ordinary for me, just somebody to want to leave. The fact that all of her stuff was still there, though, that to me was kind of strange.
And did he tell you about anything that was going on with her, as far as was she seeing anybody, or was there, had she talked about plans about what she was going to do, if she was going to leave, or if she was going to come live someplace else?
As far as I knew, he kept it pretty short and sweet. He was like, if she ever came up in conversation, he was very like civil about her. Like he never had anything like negative or derogatory to say about her. He just told me, you know, we're separating, this is why, and that was about it. And then when
did he say why? Did he say what his reason was?
The reason was for separating. He just said that they like really didn't connect very well anymore, and I don't know. I think financially they had like different ideas of how they wanted to live their lives. So I mean, but he never. I mean, just wasn't like negative about her, you know. And it was something that was pretty removed from our what we had going on. So you know, and I know she was a good mom. Said she was a good mom. But no, I mean nothing different.
Did he say that he wasn't in love with her anymore, or anything like that? No. Was he in love with you? Did he tell you that? You were. Another mosquito. Were you in love with him?
I think it could have gotten there had things played out like in a decent manner, but they're not, because this is a horrible situation and I don't know where she's at, and it's really concerning me that this woman and her children cannot be located. It's not okay. It scares me, and I'm worried for all of them.
Yeah, and we are too, and obviously we want to get to the bottom of this. And that's you know, some of the questions that I'm asking, that I'm going to ask are just trying to get to the bottom of this.
Understandable.
Yeah, and so when he told you that he was in love with you, was that recent? Was that right away? You know, was that like in July or?
It was probably like a couple weeks ago.
Okay. And did he talk about anything like that, saying, you know, I'm in love with you now, and that I want to have a life together, and I don't want to be in my life? like that?
I mean, like, yeah, we talk about the future. I think all couples do talk about the future, but it was never like, hey, I'm like leaving her, we're gonna get a house together, you're moving in with me. It was never like this, like, very forward thing. And, you know, and I even told him, I was like, if we're gonna build a relationship, one thing is that if you're getting a divorce, you've been married for a long time, I think it would be wise for you to spend a lot of time on your own. I was like, and I recently got out of a relationship earlier this year, and I think it's also healthy for me to spend time on my own. And I told him, I was like, you know, like, I respect, like, monogamy. That's a good situation, but at the end of the day, it's like, you need space. And I would tell him that. It's like, you know, once you guys, all your paperwork's finalized and you guys have decided to separate and you're in your own spot with your kids, I was like, I think the days that you're with your kids, you need to be with them, like, full time. You know, I'm not ready to meet your children. He didn't even ask me to meet his children. I mean, not yet, you know, but I told him, I was like, in the future, eventually, if we get to that point where we think we're ready, yes, but I'm not ready to meet your kids. They're not ready to meet me. You're not ready to have me meet them. And I would just tell him, you know, like, I think we should take our time. Like, ideally, I would only like to hang out with you like 2 or 3 days, you know, on the days that you don't have your kids. And I was like, in the rest of those days, I was like, spend time with yourself, man. I was like, you've been in a relationship for a really long time. Like, just spend time, like, doing whatever it is that you do that makes you happy, you know, and really try to, like, take a responsible approach to getting in a relationship with somebody who has children. Like, that is what I did. Should I have waited till he was, like, officially, completely, 100% on paper divorced and moved out of that house? Yes, that's my mistake. But after that, everything going forward was really just trying to do it in the manner that I thought would be, like, the healthiest for him, for me, his ex, his children, and his daughter.
And now you already said that you have never met his children. Did you ever meet his wife?
No.
Were you ever at his house?
Once.
When was that?
But it was probably the second weekend in July.
Second weekend. Okay. So it was just that one time?
Just once. I had no desire to go over there. I mean, that's like a situation where he's living with somebody that he's separating from. Like, it's not my life. Like, that's their life, you know? And I started telling him, like, the time you spend with me, spend it in my house because this is our space, and that's not my space. And for me, I think it's really disrespectful to go over there. And so we stopped by there once, like, on the way to my house, and I was there for maybe like 15 minutes, and I saw a picture of her holding her kid, and so beautiful. And I remember thinking, like, God, your little girls are beautiful too. And we laughed. And I remember telling him after that, it was like, have you ever thought about, like, really trying to fix your marriage with her? And he's like, I don't really want to. And I was just like, man, like, you got a beautiful wife. Like, she's the mother of 2 of your kids. And I'm just like, you already have all of this stuff. Like, you already have the house and the car and the kids and the marriage and the wife. And I'm like, are you sure you don't want to fix that? I'm like, because what if you, like, try to start over with somebody else, and, like, what if hypothetically, like, we didn't work out, or you know what I'm saying, or, like, just any of that, where it's like, you should at least give her the benefit of the doubt, you know. And he told me, like, I've tried to talk to her about all this stuff a few times, and it's just not working out. And I'm like, all right, you know, I mean, if you're trying to separate from her and it's pretty finalized, then I will respect that. But I mean, just being in that house made me feel like he should just try to fix it. Like, I actually, like, kind of stepped away from him for a little while and just kind of, like, maybe, I don't know, I felt like I wasn't sure if I wanted to, like, carry on with him because I really wanted him to try to fix stuff. And then, you know, he just kind of says to me, like, there's no fixing it. So, alright, so we just picked up where we left off. But yes, so once time ago.
Okay. And that was in the middle of July.
Yeah, I think it was like the second weekend of July. I'm almost positive.
Was the relationship intimate by that time?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And then as far as his work truck goes, were you ever in his work truck? No.
just know which one it is, but I've never been in it.
And then I think I asked you this, but the white vehicle. I know he drove that. But were you ever in a white vehicle? One time? Okay. Can you just tell me about that?
I'm trying to figure out where we went. I think it was like something quick. We take my truck everywhere. It was a while ago. I don't remember where it was at. Like, I think it was something quick. Like, I think he had to, like, run an errand or something at, like, the grocery store. And I think he just, like, took his vehicle. But other than that, like, never. I was always in my truck. If I can remember, like, when that was, I'll let you know. But it, like, wasn't anything like we were going on a date. It wasn't, like, it was, like, nothing. I think it was, like, a quick trip to go somewhere. And it was just like, hey, I'll drive, okay.
That was actually going to be another question. Have you guys ever gone on vacation together?
Nope.
Or ever? Okay.
We went to the sand dunes. Like, it was pretty recent. It was a couple weeks ago.
How'd that go? And how long a trip was that?
We went for like a day. We left Saturday. We came back on Sunday. We stayed one night out there.
And, do you think that, or did anybody know that you guys were going on that trip together?
I think a lot of people knew, but they didn't know who it was with.
So on your side or on his?
No, nobody on my side. I mean, people knew I was going to sand dunes, but my friends don't question that. I was just, I'm going to the sand dunes for the weekend. And then, I'm pretty sure, I asked him, I was like, does anybody know you're going to sand dunes? And he said yes. But I don't think he told me it was with me. I think he told me it was with some other people. So.
Yeah. So you're pretty confident that he didn't mention you?
I don't think anybody in his life knows about me. I really don't. Like, at all. Like, I'd be willing to, like, say, like, 100%. I highly doubt anybody knows about me. Just don't see it.
What about social media?
I don't have it.
You don't have any social media?
I have nothing.
So there was no interaction, like Facebook Messenger?
Nope. I don't have Facebook. I have nothing. I literally have nothing. I have an email that I use for, like, general purposes, but we never even emailed. I don't have any social media. I haven't for a long time. I recently deleted my LinkedIn, but that was like, yeah, and I've had Facebook since like 2015. I've never had like Twitter, Instagram, stuff. So.
What about mail? Any type of letters, written communications that you like your love letter or anything saying?
I got a card from him.
Card? Anything in that is different?
No.
Stands out.
I mean, it was like kind of sappy, but it was not like anything out of the ordinary for people that are dating. It was a birthday card.
And then I know he was going to the gym and stuff, but he got into working out.
He was working out of his house. His basement.
The
mosquitoes are bad.
I'm sorry, I got bit here too, so yeah. So we're both getting bit up a little bit. So I obviously you work out. So, did you guys work out together?
Never.
Never went to the gym?
Nope. I go to my gym, and he works out in his basement. He's got like a setup down there. That's all.
Did you ever see anything at any time or was dating that was angry, threatening, anything?
He is one of the most gentle and kind men I've ever met in my life.
And then any indications that, anything you can think of that would indicate potential or something like that. Where sometimes people very kind and gentle can also have another side, they can have a bad temper, nothing like that.
Not at all. No.
Do you ever say anything like, I really need this person, or I really have something like that?
Always. Like I said, even if one was never happened, it's always really kind. And he's so excited to talk about his kids. They always make him so happy. It's cute. No. But one thing I did want to let you guys know is that I was looking at the news Tuesday. Yesterday. Lunch. And and I found out that she is 15 weeks pregnant. I did not know that at all, and I was pretty taken back by that. I just felt kind of like disappointed with him, and not with the situation. I mean, if she's pregnant, that's a beautiful thing. But that is information that he definitely withheld from me. So I had to find that out through the media, and I asked him about it yesterday, and he kept telling me, he's like, it's not mine, and he just kept telling me it wasn't his, and he's like, you mad? I was like, no, I'm not mad at all. I just am like really surprised, and I was just like, please tell me the truth. Like, don't lie to me. Please don't lie to me. Like, this whole relationship, in a sense, if you think about it, is kind of like, it needs to be as honest as possible. So, yeah, I asked him to tell me the truth, and he kept denying it a few times, and I was just like, Chris, like, I know this child is yours, and I'm like, well, because he kept saying, he was just like, I don't want to ruin anything we have, this and this, and I'm like, Chris, like, you need to not worry about me right now. Like, what you need to worry about is your family. I'm like, all 4 of them, and I kept saying that, like, all 4 of them. And I'm just like, I know that's your child. I'm like, and that's okay. I'm like, you need to put all of your energy right now into focusing on finding them and not anywhere else, you know. And then he finally came clean, and he was like, yeah, it's mine. And I knew. It's like, of course you knew. Like, you know, come on, how would you not know that your wife is like, what is 15 weeks, 4 months pregnant? I mean, seriously. So he told me, and I just, I don't know. I've never honestly, like, I have never felt like he's lied to me. I've always felt like he's been pretty upfront with me this entire time. And then after that happened yesterday, between him lying to me, or coming clean about lying to me, and then his wife not coming home, I was like, you know what, I wonder if there's more to this story than I know, you know. And it's really hard for me to process this, because I think he's a really good guy, and, you know, I'm worried about his wife and kids, like, really worried about his wife and kids. Like, I don't know where they are. You don't know where they are. Nobody knows where they're at, and it's just freaking me out, because those little girls are like, they're so little, and she's pregnant, you know, and it's like, where's their mom? Where are these babies? And it makes me sad, and it's just this whole combination of, like, she's still not back, and then him lying to me, and I'm just like, I just felt like I needed to talk to you guys and tell you guys, like, I'm concerned, I'll help you in any way that you guys need help. I don't know.
Well, and that may be something that we ask of you at some point. You know, that there obviously is things that you could help with. I mean, yeah, I don't know how many people who he's comfortable speaking with, but as you said at the beginning, if you texted him, you think you can answer in 5 minutes. So that may be something that we could use some help on.
You guys can keep my name out of the newspapers for a little while. That'd be nice.
Yeah, well, our report gets internally. We don't turn that over to the news media. So we'll have to see how this case goes in the future.
I understood.
But can you now, looking back, you know, knowing that he lied to you about his wife being pregnant, is there anything else that you can think of that he lied about? I mean, or that now jumps out at you to say, wait a minute, he told me this, but maybe that's not true.
I mean, not really. I still, like, I took everything he said to me at face value. I try to do that for everybody. I mean, unless you guys know something I don't know. But that's, like, the truth that I've been given. So that's, like, what I know, you know. And I don't want to go back and, like, second guess, like, all of that, because to me it seemed real. It still does. This whole situation doesn't seem real, but at the time it was just like, I'm separating from her, this is what's going on, you know. And he seemed like he was pretty proactive about, you know, like, trying to get a new spot and, like, trying to get everything set up, and I mean, it seemed like he was all about that, you know. Like, I remember we were talking about it, I was like, because I was like, are you going to get a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom? And he's like, I want a 2. I'm like, why don't you get a 3? And then each one of your girls can have a room. And he's like, I can't afford that. And I was like, all right. And then he was like, I'm gonna do 2-bedroom, and then I remember telling him like, oh, me and my sister had bunk beds when we were little kids. It's kind of cool. They might like it. And he was just like, all right, and so I was like, kind of helping him with that. I was like, we'll go find something that'll be good and help you guys out. And then I was like, I don't know. I mean, I tried. I really tried to like handle that whole relationship in the most like decent manner that I could, I guess you could say. So.
Did he ever talk to you about who his closest friends were, or confidants, what his best buddy was?
I mean, I know he has a few. His buddy Mark out in San Diego is a good friend to him. And
do you know his last name? No, just Mark in San Diego.
It's just, I don't ask. I have no reason to. And then his buddy Nick, that I know lives somewhere over by me. I'm sure you guys probably already talked to all these people.
There's a lot of people working on this.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I don't know. That's about it. I mean, I'm sure he's offhandedly mentioned other people, but nothing that's like sparks the memory.
Just as far as you know, though, those the names of
I would
guys
say
you're
that
talking
those are
about.
probably like his two closest buddies.
Did he have a lot of friends?
I don't
Male
know.
and or female?
I think so. I think there was like a lot of like couples that him and his wife hung out with. I think so. He's always going to like birthday parties and stuff with his kids, so I assume that's how that went.
Is he an outgoing guy, or social, or he's more private type?
I would consider him to be an introvert. I think around me he opened up a little bit more. I think he just felt like he didn't like. It's kind of like a free relationship, but probably because there's no like strings attached. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna judge him, or I don't know if it was because I was like his little secret that he felt like he could trust me with stuff. But I think he was like pretty open with me usually. But I would consider him an introvert.
And then, how about hobbies or interests? Anything? Cars. Cars?
For
That's
sure.
his thing.
In the gym, cars.
Did the fitness thing, would you consider that to be anything out of the ordinary? Some people they're not in shape, they start to get in shape, and then it becomes an obsession.
No, I don't think
or
he
just
was
a healthy,
No, it was.
physical.
That's exactly what it was. I did not mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No.
No, it was healthy. I think he was in a good spot, and he was working out probably, I don't know, 5 days a week or so, and I knew he ate pretty healthy, and I think he was happy with this fitness level. I wouldn't consider anything like overly by any means. Like most people I know who go to the gym live clean eating and work out 4 or 5 days a week, pretty much like he was, so nothing strange to me.
Okay. What about finances? Did you ever mention any kind of financial difficulty?
A little bit.
Was that, the strain of a marriage, or spending too much money, or credit card debt, or what? What do you think that?
He just said when they sold the house, I said, this is when he first started talking about putting the house up for sale. I was like, he's moving to another house right away. I was like, you gotta look, because the Colorado market's pretty high. And it's just like, he's like, I think I'm gonna move to an apartment and save up some money. And I was like, don't you like have money in the house? And he's like, let's pay off some debt, and then I'm gonna save some money.
Did he tell you that he sold it?
No, he told me that the realtor was supposed to come over sometime, or they had a meeting with the realtor, and the house was supposed to go up on Monday. Something to the effect of the house was pretty much supposed to go up for sale.
This past Monday?
So this, like he did.
He specifically said the house would go up for sale one day?
He said it was supposed to. Or I don't know if it was that it was going up for sale or that he was talking to the realtor, but either way, I don't remember exactly what it was. But something to the effect of like, everything was about to like start on Monday with their whole transition. Getting everything finalized. Yeah. And he said that she was the one who found the realtor.
Was there anything else that he said that was significant about Monday? Was he going to move out? Was she going to move out?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. It was just like we were going to sell the house. And he said that they were both looking for spots. And I was like, well, where's she going to stay? And he's like, because I wanted him to be in close proximity to her after they split, so that he was always like a quick drive to the kids. I remember when I was young, my dad and my mom lived really far apart, and like I still saw them both frequently, but it was just kind of like a long drive for everybody. And I think just being that close proximity is like, it's just good. It's healthy for your kids. And so I remember asking him, like, you know where she's going to stay? And he's like, probably somewhere around this area. And he didn't give me anything exact. And then I asked him again, like, recently, because he started getting more serious about kind of my place. And he was like, I think she's just going to stay in Frederick. And I was like, all right, you know. And then, like, one time, that first time when I was like, do you know where she's going to stay? And he's like, she's probably going to stay around here. And I'm like, is she going to stay in this house? And he's like, she can't afford this house by herself. And I was like, all right. And then that was the first time he told me, like, yeah, we're going to put it up for sale. Like, once they could do that.
Did he tell you what she does for a living? How she earns money?
Kind of, sort of. I know she, like, works for some company that does, like, a lot of online stuff, and it's, like, fitness stuff or vitamin stuff. Or I don't completely know exactly what that is, but I know she has to, like, network with a lot of people on social media to do it. So I'm not 100% sure what you would call that, which I guess she's like a sales rep, kind of, sort of, would be what it is called. But that's what she does for it.
Gotcha. How about, did you ever see him with any weapons? Ever carry a knife or a gun or ever talk about weapons of any kind?
No. And in fact, we even, like, so we talk about, like, current events. Like, it's a big thing in my life, and I talk about current events with all of my friends. I asked him one day, like, if you want, I will send you articles. Like, I'll read the news, and every, like, once a week or so, I'll find an article that I think is interesting. It's about all sorts of different stuff. And I'll send it to one of my friends, and I'll be like, what do you think? And we'll have, like, debates and discussions about it. And I remember, there was one on a shooting that I sent him, and I was like, what do you think? And he even told me, he's like, I don't own guns, like, keep them in the house. He's like, I think it's crazy. We work in the oil industry, and a lot of, like, they're very red people, and they love guns. He was just talking to me about it, and he's like, I don't understand why some of these people insist on, like, and I know he was referring to, like, the group that we, like, work around, not necessarily our coworkers, but just like oil field people. He's like, I don't know why they insist on having like 10 weapons. He's like, why could you possibly need that many guns? It doesn't even make sense to me. He's like, it's not necessary. And then he's just like, I don't keep guns in the house. Kids. So that actually did come up once, but it was like completely because we were having a event.
Do you know if he was ever in the military?
Not that I know of.
And do you know where he's originally from?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. You ever talk about that?
Yeah.
Upbringing and how that was. Anything significant that you remember about that? Anything traumatic? Anything? No, nothing that jumps out.
His mom and dad were still married, and he said he was really close with his dad. His dad's really into cars too. So he said that they really relate on that. And he said there just wasn't a lot of opportunity in North Carolina, like for good jobs or anything around where he was at. And that's what I but some friends moved out here, and him and her came and visited them, and they just really liked it, thought there was a lot better jobs, and so that's why he moved. But I don't know how to do it back there.
Good relationship with his family back in
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So I know he's got a sister, and she's got 2 kids.
Is his sister in North Carolina?
I think so. As far as I know, because I know he went to go visit them recently, and he got a St. Louis. I don't know if she was out visiting or if she lived there, but I think she lived there.
Did he talk about going back to North Carolina recently?
I know he went. He just got back.
Okay. So you knew? Did you know who he went with?
He went by himself and met her out there. I know she was already out there.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you can think of that you think might be pertinent and might be, looking into this?
Not really. I mean, that's what I told his name, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Dave. I told Dave, like, I think this is information. I don't know if it can, like, help you to solve anything, but it's like, I was a big part of his life recently, so I just figured that you guys should be aware of it. Definitely, and I will cooperate with you on anything that you can. And so I asked him yesterday, so yeah, we can add this in there. Asked him yesterday to kind of like give me some space, because I'm getting to the point with this situation where I am very concerned for his wife and children, and this whole situation was just very unhappy for me, but it is, I'm sure, for everybody else who's involved with this situation. And after like finding out, like, oh yeah, and like I've also got this child on the way with her, and just wasn't very honest with me, I told him, please give me time to heal, and please give me time to process this. And he's like, are we done? Are we done? And I told him, I said, no, we're not. Yes, we are, but he doesn't need to know that. I just told him that because I was just like trying to find a way to like distance myself from him without alerting him that I'm really uncomfortable with everything that's going on right now. You know, I told him numerous times yesterday that I was scared, and you know, I told him that I was scared not because of like for like my own safety, but I told him like I'm scared because I don't know where she's at. I'm scared because I'm scared for them. And then I told him, you know, the fact that you weren't honest with me, like, I don't feel like I know you as well as I did. And that, you know, that's uncomfortable for me too. Like, this whole situation is just, it's scary. It's not good. So, I just asked him if he could give me some space. And then I told him, I was like, when you find your family and they're all right, I was like, then you can go ahead and text me. I was like, but until then, like, I don't really think it's a good idea for me to talk to you. And that's as far as I've gotten. But I can tell you right now, if I were to text him and just say whatever I needed to say, he would do it. So I don't know. And I even asked him a few times yesterday, it was like, what happened? Like, where's your family? He's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. All right.
And when he says he doesn't know, do you believe that?
I mean, I think about this situation, and honestly, like, I've never seen him be anything but gentle. And I see the way that he, like, he gets so happy when he talks about his kids. And I just, you know, and the fact that he was, like, never ill-mannered, even when he was discussing her, and the fact that they were separating. I always considered him to be a really decent man. So the fact that they're still missing, I mean, I don't really think he would harm them. I don't. I mean, and I think that's also a reason that it took me 2 days to come to you guys, because it was like, I think she left. I mean, and that's still in the back of my head is like a thought where it's like, maybe she took off. I mean, maybe she did. Like I said, like he said, that obviously their financial situation wasn't that great. I'm like, well, maybe she just left because she didn't want to deal with it. Like, if we're over, like, you can deal with it. I don't know. I mean, I've had so many different scenarios running through my head, but I don't think he could do it.
And he didn't indicate to you that she was going to leave? Did he ever say to you, like, one day she's going to be leaving, she's going to be going somewhere? Or...
He told me they had a conversation in the morning, and he told me that she came home, like, really late, I think, that night. And he told me that when he woke up, he said he was sleeping when she got back, and when he woke up, there was a text message from her that said, I don't know if it was a text, I don't know, but she just said she asked him to wake her up before he went to work. And I guess he went to wake her up, and she informed him that the child that she was carrying did not belong to him. And I asked him if he believed that, and he said, no, I think she's just saying that out of spite. So I don't know if he's telling me that because he's trying to, like, somehow make me feel better that maybe it's not his kid because he lied to me, or if that, like, legitimately happened. I don't know. But he told me that, and then I guess he said that she was gonna, like, go to some friend's house or something, and I guess he tried to ask her about it a few times and wasn't really getting anything from her, so I think he left. But I don't think it was planned for the kids for 3 or 4 days. I think it was like this one during the day. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Did he say if that discussion they had in the morning, if that was contentious, if there was anything said, any threatening or anything that was, significant in that conversation?
Not really, but I mean, I'm sure finding out that the child that your wife is carrying isn't yours is probably painful, but no, he didn't express me the kind of like they were arguing. As far as I know, they didn't even really like argue that much in the first place. They just had different opinions on how to do stuff, and it just wasn't working in a marriage. But he was never like, oh, I fight with my wife all the time. Like, that was never, ever anything that he ever brought up to me at any point.
Do you think he had any reason to believe that the child wasn't his? I mean, is there a possibility that she was seeing somebody?
I mean, maybe she's at home all day, right? It would probably be pretty easy for her to have an affair. I don't know.
Nothing that he ever mentioned.
Prior to that?
Yeah.
No.
He never said, I think she's having an affair, or she's spending too much time with so-and-so.
No, not at all. I don't even think he would notice. I mean, like, realistically, it's like, no one else knew about us. And she's home all day, so that frees up, like, that much more time. So, no. But, I mean, he could have been unaware. But, I mean, he even said, I think she said it out of spite. I don't even think he took that whole situation seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then he did admit to you that it was his child. He believed it was his child.
Later, because I kept asking him, I'm like, he's like, it's not mine. And I was like, how are you going to tell me that she just told you that she's having an affair, and you tell me you don't believe that she's really having an affair, but that the kid's not yours? And I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. And I was just like, stop lying. And not lying. I thanked him for telling me the truth. I didn't want him to think that I was like responsible for all this, but I just wanted to take a step back and kind of like look at this situation without like any like emotion, like positive emotion that I have attached to him, and like at the end of the day, there's a mother, 2 children, 1 on the way, so like 2.5. That can't be found right now, and it's like I don't care about anything that's going on with me and him. I don't care about anything that's going on with him in the media. I don't care about any of that. Like all I care about is helping you guys to find this family.
There's an interview with him.
Most of the stuff that I saw was like just a photo. It was like a short excerpt, and then today I saw one of him.
What'd you think of that?
When they were interviewing him?
Yeah. Is that the guy you know? Truthful? See, we don't know him, but obviously we do. So when you see somebody, when you see the mannerisms, the way they're talking, does that strike you in any way?
I mean, he's kind of got an introverted personality type, so like he's kind of like laid back with things. Anyways, I feel like he's like going through shock with all of this. Like, just. I told you the night that I talked to him on the phone, like, Monday night, like, he was calm, but you could just hear it in his voice that he was just, like, concerned for his kids. Like, I could hear it. Like, his voice just sounded a little bit different. It's kind of similar like that, but it was like you're trying to, like, hold back the tears kind of thing. Like, hold back, like, and just bawling your eyes out on the phone or in front of a bunch of cameras. I don't know. Just...
But you think he's kind of an even keel type of guy?
Always.
Mild mannered?
Always.
So he had not highs and lows. He's not one of these people who gets upset quickly or gets depressed quickly.
No. I mean, and he has moments of, like, happiness. I mean, of course I see him when he's, like, happy and things are going really well. But just in general, I think he's a pretty calm individual.
And again, this is just anything you want to say or anything you think. What do you think happened? Do you have any theories? Do you have any thoughts as to what might have
You know how much stuff is running through my...
I know.
I hate it. I don't even like theorizing. I'm like, I don't know. I really hope... What do I really think? I'm hoping that they have a lot more debt than he let on to, and I'm hoping she didn't want to deal with it, and she wanted to legitimately start a new life, and I'm hoping that she just let all that shit. That's what I'm hoping.
Is there anything you want to ask? You good? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things, too, is a lot of times what happens is after you have an interview like this, you might start thinking, if he asked me this question, or I just thought of something, feel free to give a call. Because usually people will think of something after the fact. Spending less than an hour at the park, you might think, in July, I remember he said this, or I remember this happened, in early August. If any of that comes to your mind, just reach out to me, call, and we appreciate any insight. We don't know what happened. We don't know. I mean, this could be a wide range of things at this point. Obviously, our job is to figure out what happened, and that's what we're going to do. So, the quicker we can get there, though, if there's hope, right? There's always hope that they're okay, and we want to get them home safely, and and it's possible. There's a range of possibilities. So our job is to try to resolve this as quickly as possible. there's a whole bunch of us working on this, and we will day and night until we resolve it. So, but in the meantime, you're in a unique position.
I know, that's why I come to you guys.
Well,
And the babies, man, the babies, that woman, like that whole situation, like that is, I'm here because of those three. And her unborn. But I'm here for those three. But I'm also here because I am in a unique position. I really want to help you guys.
Well, we appreciate that. I think it's obvious. I mean, we can sense, anybody can sense sitting here how that you do care.
Yeah,
and that, yeah, there's little girls involved, there's babies involved here. And we all want to see them home safely.
Mm-hmm.
So again, and you are in a unique position because there's nobody in his life that is in your shoes. So there are certain things that he might say to you that he wouldn't say to somebody else, or there might be something that you could find out about that nobody else could. So we'll have to see how that goes and see how the investigation progresses. So we may reach back out to you. But for now, just my main thing would be is if you hear from him and you think you should tell us about it, please call me. If you think of something else that happened, even if you think, you know what, it's really not that significant, but maybe I should have mentioned it, please call me and tell me. Because every little piece can help. One of the things, I'm not even sure that I asked you this, maybe I did, but is there any particular places that you guys ever went that stood out? Did he have a special place that he wanted to go with you, to go for a walk or to go, view the sights or anything like that?
Every place that we went was like my idea. And I think all of it was special to him because I really took time to go to places that he would like, but it was all stuff that I picked. Every time. Like dinner. Like any place we went, like it was something that I picked. It was like, hey, I know you would like this. What do you think? And he was always all about it. But like going camping was my idea. We went out a couple other times. My idea. Like all of it was my idea. He was all about it.
So he just wanted to spend time with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he cared where it was at.
Okay. Well, if something jumps out, if you think about a camping trip or something, and something that was said or something that was somehow significant about that, again, feel free to give a call. Let me know. Because again, we just don't know. And it's one of those things where somebody might actually, a neighbor, a coworker, somebody might have a piece of information that makes the difference in the case. So, and you may have that piece of information. We just don't know yet. Obviously, we're going to be interviewing everybody from family, friends, coworkers, right down the line. So, we got a lot of work to do, but we really appreciate you reaching out. And hopefully, we'll get to the bottom of this quickly.
Where's he at?
Right now, I don't know. I know that he's been interviewed in Frederick by the police there, and he's probably going to be interviewed again, maybe multiple times, and family members as well. I think that he had some friends he was going to stay with. If they wanted to, we wanted to look at the house. So I don't even know if he's gone back to the house or if he's with friends. I honestly don't know.
Gotcha.
But he may reach out to you. I mean, it's one of these things in a situation like this. You tend to reach out to the people who are closest to you, and want to talk about things.
And what am I supposed to do if he does that?
If he does call you, obviously we would like to know anything and everything that he says, because again, he may tell you something that he's not telling us, and also even something that may seem obvious to you. If he told us something opposite, it's important. So if he said, I'm staying at Joe's house, and he tells you he's staying at Chris's house or Bob's house or wherever, and that's not true, well then that could be significant. If he tells you that he went someplace and he didn't go there, that could be significant. So even though if you do have contact with him and you think it's just a normal conversation, there could be something that's significant about that.
Do you want me to contact him?
Not yet. That's one of those things.
I don't really want to do that right now.
Right, and we're not going to ask you to do that at this point. I mean, we have a lot of investigative avenues. We have a lot of things that we can do. I know this is difficult for you, and I don't want to make anything more stressful than it already is. So right now, I would just say sit tight. The most valuable thing you can do is just think of anything else that might be useful and let us know. And then if he contacts you, I would say it's okay to hear what he has to say. And if you could let me know what that is, that could be very helpful. One of these things is if something happened that shouldn't have happened, then there's usually a mistake, right? There's usually something that's said or something that's done that comes out. So even things that may seem completely innocent may actually end up being important.
Is he getting a divorce?
You
Were
know,
they separating? I'm just curious.
Well,
Like, I just
here's-
want to know now because it's like
Yeah.
I've been living this whole thing and I'm like, is it a lie? I don't know. Like when I found out that she had a baby on the way, I was like, it made me like wonder. I just want to know.
Well, so I can tell you this: Phil and I have not talked to him. I haven't even seen him other than him on the news. So I don't know specifics. We probably have 50 people, I would guess. Is that accurate? Working on this right now? Okay, and it may want to be 150 people by the end of today. So there's different investigators doing different things. So I don't necessarily know what's going on with him. And our focus is just to check all the boxes as quick as possible so we can get all the facts. So I don't know. The honest answer is I don't know if he was really getting divorced, if they were really going to separate, if they will really sell the house. I don't know the answers. So we'll find out. We'll find out soon. And actually, a good point. Do you have any other questions for us? Is there anything that we could...
I'm so sad about the situation. I just want them to find all three of them, like, alive and happy and well and everything to just be gone and everybody to go home.
Well, we greatly appreciate it. I would say thank you very much. Hang in there. I know this isn't easy. This is a difficult situation. Right. So hang in there. If I hear anything, I will reach out to you. Okay? I don't know how quickly that's going to happen. In the meantime, again, feel free to reach out. And if you feel like taking a phone call, you take a phone call. If it's a text message, you can do that. That's up to you. I'm not going to direct you at this time to do anything. But if it comes to that, where we think that might be helpful, then we'll reach back out.
Just me, I would say texting, because it's in writing and you don't have to get personal. But that's just me.
I mean, I asked him
But
to
I-
leave me alone. He's pretty respectful of the things that I have to say to him, so I think it's pretty hard for him to have me not talking to him. So at some point, if he caved, if he did try to talk to me, it wouldn't surprise me, but if he also respected what I had to say and like continued to give me space, I think he would respect that too. I mean, I told him numerous times that day that I was scared, so I don't know if it's like, you know, like I'm concerned for your family, so I don't know how he interpreted that. But
We'll see as the time goes on. But that's it for now. And again, we'll reach back out to you if need be. One thing actually I did want to ask since you're on the phone again. So the text messages between you and him, deleted those?
yeah, that was yesterday. Like as soon as I found out, and he was honest with me. Like we talked a couple more times after that, and then it was just like, I don't want you to contact me, and I just wiped them out.
If that's something that became necessary for us to try to retrieve, is that something that would be okay with you?
I'm sure we could work on my phone records, but I use that phone for work, so I'd appreciate it if I could like keep this. Is there another way for you guys to go about doing that, like through the phone company or something?
So there's special software we can plug your phone into, and even if it's deleted, we can still retrieve the content, rather, and then just preserve that and give the phone back. That's the course of action we decide.
So you're not gonna like take it from me though, right? Because I just need it for work.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we don't need to like take your phone and then you don't get it back. I mean, there is a process about getting the information from the phone, but we have people who do that.
Understood.
And it wouldn't be a big intrusion, but it just, and if you think about this too, right? Because if you think after this, the answer's done, you think, hey, you know what, that text message that you wrote, that was a little strange. Then maybe we do, we would want to. But for now, I don't know that it's necessary, but if it becomes necessary, we may come back to you and say, hey, can you just take a look at your phone, and we'd like to retrieve those text messages. And again, it may not even be the content, it may just be the time and location.
Right.
So.
Well, and I mean, as long as you guys will give it back, I mean, that's one
Sure.
thing. I just need it for work. I don't even pay for it and a dark purpose, so I can't really just like not have that would be a problem.
Did he have a work phone and a personal phone?
Yeah.
Do you have numbers for both?
I mean, I could look up his work phone number on my directory thing for.
Did he contact you on both?
The first couple times that we talked for like a few days, it was on his work phone, but then it shifted to his personal phone. So it's like, I don't want any personal conversations on the work phone, because we're pretty separated at work, and I'm trying to keep it that way at work.
Right.
I don't think anybody at work even knows that we like talk. Like, we're not affiliated with each other.
Okay. Yeah, if we could get both numbers, that would be great, just to make sure that we have them.
I don't know how to do that on here. I think there's like a directory in here somewhere on my thing. How do you...
Smash it? What does it look like? One of those broken screensavers.
I'm working on the road with that.
Just put a contact, like you can dial the phone.
Oh, for the thing.
I hear a little rattle.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Shit. How's that?
No, that's not his. That's mine. All it did was connect his contact number. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Well,
I'm sure you could get it.
Yeah.
You have his personal cell phone.
Yes, that's what's
Okay.
saved in my phone. I don't have his work phone saved in my phone.
Okay.
I was
And
hoping
I
that I
know-
could look it up on my work directory, because it's like linked to my email, I think, but I don't.
Well, that's okay. We're gonna actually. Can we get that from you? Just his personal number. I'm sure we have it already, but can we just get that?
Yeah, just-
And then the work phone, we'll get that from work. We can get that.
Yeah.
910-309-1702.
Okay.
That's the number that we call.
Okay.
And then one more question as far as, because I know you weren't doing the social media thing, but did you have an email address that you guys were in contact? No email?
I think we had like one email, but it wasn't like us talking. It was like I was trying to help them with some equipment that I operate and they use in the field. It's like a gas monitor kind of thing. So just that. It's like a quick talk, but like pretty much everything that we've had has been like on his personal phone. Like I said, I did say one email. I don't even remember exactly what I had to do with the gas monitor. Something was wrong with the gas monitor. So I think he came and see me about that. And then I think we talked a few times on his work phone, and then it was like, no. Because at that point it was still professional, but I kind of knew that it was like getting to the point where it was going to be a personal thing, and then it's like, we should be your phone. That's not fair to me. And this is like my work phone and my home phone, but it's mine.
Right.
So I only have one. Yeah. So I mean, any correspondence that would be of like any sort of that phone over there.
Okay. Fair enough.
And actually, I don't know what I asked in the beginning, because your full name? I know it's Nikki, but is it Kessingers? Well, we came right down once you called.
Yeah.
Kessinger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nichol?
Yes.
Yeah. And then your date of birth?
July 3rd, 1988.
That's it. Can you think of anything else?
I think I just gave you guys everything that was on my mind. So
Okay.
So I did a good job asking you lots of questions.
hopefully I gave you something that
I
you
just
can
wanted to
use.
accelerate it because of the babies.
Yeah,
Or-
definitely.
We don't know them, but
Yep.
there's somebody out there, as long as you're safe, we're cool with it, but,
Yeah.
ugh, you know,
And that's the main reason we get involved. Anytime there's a missing kid, local agencies can reach out to us for additional manpower, essentially. So I always want to get that resolved as quickly as possible.
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the key. And I can tell you this, we're doing everything it takes. So
Well, the more clues, the faster it gets, hopefully.
Right.
that's
And
exactly right. The
That's why we
faster
thought we'd
it gets rid.
do that, so.
Right.
No, and I think your information is very helpful. It also gives us a lot of insight too, which is helpful with the effective agent. So,
Understood.
all right. Well,
So you guys with the local or with the feds?
we're feds. We're both FBI
Okay,
agents.
so you're
We
just
look at it,
helping out
Yep.
with the,
Yeah.
that's a small,
Yeah, Frederick's a smaller
Yeah.
PD, and a case like this requires a lot of manpower.
yeah, I used to do water treatment plants up there in Erie and
Oh, yeah.
all of those, and man, there's not enough lot going on in those towns, it's not overcrowded, no traffic, I mean, it's a lot,
There's more quarantine people.
Right.
it's a lot smoother way of life, so I couldn't imagine that they would have 50
No,
Well,
it's
that's
just
where
a
we
one
come in.
detective and a few patrol officers.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
That's one of the ways that we can help, just because we have a lot of people and resources.
good. Good to know.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, I'm sorry about the mosquito bites as well.
Yes.
I know I've
That's
suffered.
As long as you got a few to
it
go
seems
with
like they're fine, and you and I are getting better
And
here,
so
so.
that's side of the
Boiled.
What's funny about it?
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I could tell what salt and pepper.
yeah, small office.
For sure.
That's all right. Yeah, it is.
Monsters probably aren't cold anymore.
Hang on a second.